Thank you so much for joining in. I'm Oscar Blue for Real America's Voice News. This is the epicenter of how it looks right now on a migrant camp in Wixla. This is the way it looks. Share this out as we are going to be walking right now around the whole neighborhood, and then we're going to go in the middle of the camp. So this is the way it looks as right now. And I'm gonna go slowly so you guys can see how the whole park and also the river, it is full with migrants. The migrant caravan that is around 6,000. Share the video, like the video, share the video. If you like the video and if you share the video, you will help us to get the message out and the video out. Meanwhile, it is not being shared and it is not liked the video. It is really difficult for the video to get out. So a lot of the people are saying, how can I help, Oscar? If you can just help to share the video and like the video, that will be a lot of help so we can get the video out. Multiple times you guys have asked. So it is really important that you guys share the video. So this is the way it is. Right now, I will stay here for a few moments until I'm seeing that the audience has shared a little bit. So this is the way that it looks right now. This is the migrant caravan that is potentially going to leave in the next incoming hours. Again, move forward or planning to stay here on this municipal place that is called Wixla. From here, they would try to move to the northern border. So this is the way it looks, people. Hit that like button on Facebook. Hit that bell button on YouTube. Hit that like button on Facebook. Hit that bell button on YouTube. Smash that like button on Facebook. Hit that bell button on YouTube. Let me flip the camera so we can talk for a little bit. Meanwhile, this evolves over here. Let's see from camera right here. How's everybody doing? Oscar Blue. Let me just put it right here. Oscar Blue for Real America's Voice News. We are live from one of the epicenters that is the part of Wixla where it is a migrant camp, which, it is basically located 30 kilometers away from what it is Tapachula, Chiapas. Now, they have walked almost 30 kilometers. This is the distance that they have walked. Their perception until now, it is to see if they're going to get the permits for them to be admitted, embedded, and to be walking freely into our country of Mexico and ultimately into the northern borders. That is their number one purpose, to go to the United States. You talk to a lot of the migrants, a lot of the majority of them are economical migrants, which they want to deliver themselves to the authorities, whether it is to a port of entry or a non-port of entry. They have already said, that they are going to deliver themselves to a non-port of entry. Somebody's asking about migrants from the Middle East. We haven't seen no migrants on this caravan from the Middle East. I can report to you that when I arrived past Monday into the airport of Tijuana, there was a huge amount of people stuck in an immigration center in the airport, that they were migrants from Syria and migrants from Afghanistan. Not on this caravan. This caravan, it is only the majority. It is Central America, from the triangle of Central America, that is Nicaragua, Honduras, Guatemala. But also they have migrants from South America, that is Venezuela. So 6,000 of them are about to walk. We talked to the civil protection of Tapachula. They told us that there's thousands that they're stuck on the south border. Coming in also, and the influx, it hasn't stopped. People are still coming in, and it is going to continue. ¿Qué onda? ¿Cómo estás? Es todo. It is going to continue. So this is the situation in terms to immigration. A lot of these people, they're looking for a better opportunity in life. They're looking for a better job. And for them, the answer, it is clear. For them, it is the Biden administration and the United States of America. That is the answer. A lot of people are mad, are upset because this is continuing. These people are, I'm not completely innocent, because they know what is going on. But ultimately, I need you to understand and be conscious about what is happening to your country in the United States. If you're upset about what is happening, it is your own government that is doing this. It is not nobody else. It is your own congressional people. It is people like Mayor Adams in New York that he wanted this. People are like Veronica Escobar, she's incentivizing the cartel to continue to basically take advantage of migrants and put them on a dangerous border where they are being trafficked and abused. People like Gavin Newsom, that they know what the problem that is coexisting on this side, and that is funding NGOs and giving them the power to do whatever the hell they want, not only on the side of the United States, but in Mexico. And if you say something in Mexico to these white, liberals, they will attack you and hold you as a xenophobic, transphobic, homophobic, white supremacist, white imperialist, Zionist, bigot, racist, fascist, narcissist, conspiracy theorists, creating hysteria, fearmonger, all of this stuff. So look at the narrative that these white liberals and these NGOs, which they are carrying into our country. If we follow their narrative, we will be okay. We will be on the friend zone. If we don't, we will get attacked, and we will be labeled as Zionists and right-wing extremists. That is what we are, apparently, for these people. So we don't have a freedom of opinion. So who's the imperialist over here? Who's the imperialist? So our freedom of speech in our country, it is being raped and is being violated by these, leftist, progressive, mercenary activists. On the back, you can see the catastrophe and a crisis, which has been coexisting since years that we've been studying, and we've been traveling to caravans. This is my 10th caravan, walking with people. What I can tell you, the difference on this caravan with these people, it is that all of them, the majority, 90% are economical migrants. Economical migrants, basically, they have a really hard time of qualifying for asylum and refugee. That is a reality. Why? Because they're going into another country for economical reasons. It is not as much of a it's not as much of a difference when it comes. It is a lot of a difference when you're coming for persecution, and ultimately not only for persecution, but also for credible fear. That it's the number one thing that the United States Border Patrol and ultimately the investigations of the Department of Homeland Security are asking for to be a credible case of asylum and refugee. When it comes to an economical migrant, it is people that they're coming in because they want a better opportunity in life, because in their countries the economy is a disaster, because their corrupt governments have been complicit of this. And it looks like all these countries in Central and South America, they're complicit of conspiring against the United States. I can say a few that they're not. Let's per se, Panama, it is just dealing with their own problems. Panama is doing the best that they can, because I've been in Panama. And I know that the Panamanian government is trying to do the best that they can to control this influx that came to them. It's not them asking for it. It's came to them. And all these authorities from Panama, they're doing the best that they can. When it comes to Mexico, Mexico is not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Mexico, a lot of people are saying, why does Mexico does not shut their border? We're not going to do what other countries tell us to do. We are a sovereign nation. We have a constitution, and we have our own laws and our own constitution. If the border is open on Mexico, it is because it is open. But the reality is that if the United States of America was not on the global compact on migration, if the United States of America and their people that they're serving in Congress and their people that they're serving in the Senate will only go by their laws, and they will apply immigration laws like the immigration laws that they have been applicable for years in the United States, this will not be happening. But openly, the Biden administration has been a collaborator now, the Global Compact on Migration, aligning with Canada, aligning with Mexico, and all the continent of America, which allows people to transfer freely without no documentation or to transport them freely into every border. So, instead of pointing the finger, understand that it is all part of a plan. It's all part of a problem. And the reality of the situation is that meanwhile these politicians in the United States continue to just basically be lucrative on this situation because everybody's making a lot of money. And it is a reality. The organized crime, the cartel is making a lot of money, is making billions out of human misery, out of these people that they're risking their lives through the Darien, through extortions in Central America, to economical crisis in Central and South America. These people are risking their lives. Why? Because the Biden administration has said, you can come in, I will let you in. And they have not set the message straight that entering to a non-port of entry, it is not regular. It is irregular. Ultimately, you have that message going on, and people will understand, and the migrants will understand that why should we go through a process when, I can enter through a river, I can jump a wall, I can be trafficked, sadly, and possibly risk my life, but I can actually, if everything goes good, I will be good to go entering the United States, or I can cross a river. And when you have that, and when you have also aiding to that situation, you're just fueling the cartel. These white progressive mercenary activists, they don't say that because they say, oh, we're over here, we're being humanitarian, and all these nationalists, they're saying this, nationalists saying that. I'm not a nationalist. I'm just a person that is speaking to you facts. And I'm telling you right now, I'm a migrant myself. I believe that migration is a human right, and everybody deserves a right to migrate. But in those migration rights, they are laws, and we need to obey those laws. And what these NGOs and these organizations, what they have done is they have built loopholes for people to go around them, like this situation, which is happening, that people now are understanding that crossing through a river or jumping a wall or paying a coyote, it is a resource of transportation, for God's sake. So you're putting the life of your children and your own life in the hands of these traffickers to say, this is the only way that I can get there. So it's just inhuman. It is not humanitarian. This administration of the Biden administration has been the most irresponsible with migration, has been the one that has transformed the word of migration into a word that is not coexistent. This is not migrating. This Biden administration has been the one that has been more insecure in the history of immigration. Department of Homeland Security of the United States has been the one that has been complicit of the multiple people that they have lost their lives in the Darien, Central America, South America, in the borders with Mexico and Guatemala, and ultimately the people that they have lost their lives in Arizona, in Texas, in all the parts that they are going in the desert, crossing to the mountains, crossing to a river, being kidnapped by the organized crime, being extortioned by the organized crime. But in Congress in the United States of America, in the Senate in the United States of America, they're talking about funding, borders on other countries, on Eastern Europe. They're talking about letting trillions to go to this, to go to that. When you have an economical crisis and you have a border crisis in your own southern border, and ultimately, you're the laughingstock Congress right now, these uniparties, and also ultimately these leftist progressive congressional people, they're part of this problem. They're complicit. And you're incentivizing and you're fueling the cartel by making them look like, oh, they're worried about somebody else. They're worried about another country. Meanwhile, we can still be hauling people in and making millions and millions of dollars. It is a reality. The organized crime and the cartel is making billions out of children, out of women that they have been abused, women that they have told us in the Darien Gap that they have been raped. We have seen migrants lost their lives in the Darien Gap, bodies, decomposed bodies in the Darien Gap. We have seen the authorities of Panama fighting off bullets flying through our heads, fighting, vandals and delinquent individuals that they take advantage of migrants inside of the Darien. We have seen all of it. We have walked with them inside of the Darien. We have walked in Colombia. We have walked in the borders with Venezuela. What are you going to talk to us about that this is not a business and a new industry for these people? It is a huge industry. It is a multi-billion industry. And it is no doubt in my mind, I have grown in one of the most corrupt countries in the world. I love my country of Mexico. I will never say the opposite, that I don't love my country. I love my country. I respect my flag. I respect my countrymen. I respect, our culture. I love my culture. I love my country. But my country is full with corruption. And a lot of the cartel has taken over the power and has taken over the decisions of politicians. And ultimately, that is reflecting on what the United States it is right now. It is an undeniable fact that somebody is being paid off, somebody is being bought off, and somebody is not saying anything on the other side of the spectrum, on the other side of the border. Why? Because this is not stopping. And meanwhile, a pathway, it is not created, a safe pathway of migration. It is not created for migrants to understand this is the safe way to migrate, for you to not risk your life, for you to not lose your life, for you to understand that there's a pathway of law and order, for you to understand that, yes, there's a possibility for you to get a better life, but this is the way. Meanwhile, the United States has incompetent politicians that they're aiding and abetting this to continue because these NGOs are making billions, because these mercenary activists, they're making billions, millions they're making. Hundreds of thousands. It is not a lie. You're not going to progressively attack us with your leftist, language. That is your language of barricade of defense. Projecting what you are and attacking other individuals, calling us white supremacists and Zionists. This is the reality. This is my country of Mexico. This is what we're living right now. Again, another caravan. Sadly, children walking on dehydration. Women walking with their feet cut off. This has to stop. This industry has to stop because these politicians and these policies, it's all about policies and check and balances. This is what they're doing. They're putting people's lives at risk. They're putting children's lives at risk. And now parents are understanding that going through a Darien, it is something that they need to risk. But ultimately, that is the solution. When have you heard that going through a jungle, it is a normal pathway to migrate to a better place? That is ludicrous. That is crazy. But it is something that has been regularized and normalized by who? By these policies, these globalists, these elitists, these oligarchs, the organized crime, the cartel. They make you understand that that is a normal thing. Let's normalize people migrating and suffering, going on caravans, living on these horrible conditions right now. These are horrible conditions to put a human being to live. This needs to stop. If you're a humanitarian, if you're a defender of human rights, then you defend against these politicians and these senators that they're not creating a safe pathway, a legal pathway, an opportunity of a pathway for people to have opportunities, not only in the United States. The United States is not the savior of the world, but ultimately around the globe, and make migrants understand that they have a possibility to fight this off against their corrupt politicians, the corrupt leaders that they have. It is an undeniable reality that this has to do with communism, has to do with other other countries conspiring to destroy borders, it is a reality. Don't come to me with that BS that it's not. Look at what Maduro is doing to his own countrymen. He has destroyed, almost destroyed Venezuela. This is why there's an exile of people from Venezuela. Look at the corruption in Honduras. Everybody thought with Xiomara Castro, it was going to change the country of Honduras. And you see people from Honduras right now migrating. Look at Haiti. Has anybody done anything pro Haiti? Has anybody changed Haiti since the Clintons destroyed basically the economy of Haiti? Has anybody done anything over there? Is anybody helping the people in Africa that they're migrating through countries? Where in the hell the message got out to people from Asia and China that they can cross the Darien Gap walking, and people from Vietnam, for God's sake, people from Pakistan, people from India? How in the hell they got to that place that the Darien was built as a pathway now to get through another place for a better life? Who did that? These are facts. The ones that they're complicit, it is these governments that they're inhuman, these politicians. As I have said before I move on and before I give you the video, as I have said before, weak leaders and incompetent leaders will create chaos. When they create chaos, they create a crisis. The United States of America has a weak, incompetent leader. This is the crisis that has created. Mexico has a weak, incompetent leader. This is the crisis that he has created. Guatemala has a weak leader. Honduras has a weak leader. Nicaragua has a leftist communist leader. This is what you have. This is what you have caused. Colombia has a weak leader. All of these people, they do not care about the lives of these people. Venezuela has a weak leader. Look at this. When you have weak leaders in your country, weak politicians, you will create a crisis and you will damage your country's laws. This is not a lie. These people are running away from weak leadership. Weak leadership and economical disasters. This is why, and I'm not even lying, even you have U.S. citizens running away from California and living in Mexico to pay less rent because the economy in California is so exacerbated expensive that they do not have the quality of life to pay the rent and to pay the automobile and to pay insurance and to pay all of this. American citizens living in Mexico, the migration of U.S. citizens of California into Tijuana, into Calexico, California, into Mexicali. It is a reality. U.S. citizens. Why? Because incompetent leaders govern incompetent states, govern states, and incompetent leaders govern countries. Who's governing right now California? Gavin Newsom. Who's the problem of what is the problem of California? Gavin Newsom. Nobody else. The economy of California, gasoline, Gavin Newsom. This is the change. It starts with our homes. I wish that these people can understand that they have a possibility to change their country. Honduras is a beautiful country. Nicaragua is a beautiful country. Not even to talk about Venezuela, how beautiful it is. It's a gorgeous country of Venezuela. Gorgeous. They have gorgeous people. Everybody has really capable people. But these leftists and these organizations have created this idea that migrating through this way and through these circumstances, it is the actual way to migrate. And this is incorrect. This is incorrect. This is not right-wing extremist. This is not an extremist. This is the reality. This is the reality of what's happening. You got more people now suffering the consequences of migrating in the caravan. And more people that they're starving right now for food. And more people that they're waiting for help. And children that they are starving and they're tired and exhausted because of these leftist policies, these progressive policies of these incompetent politicians. Let's just flip the camera and let's go around for a little bit. Sorry about my little conversation that we had there. Let's just go for a little bit. I have a hit with the network right now, so I'm just going to go and give you guys a broadcast right now of the actual situation of this. Look at this, man. Not even. Let's go around and walk a little bit. to give you guys a reality of how it looks. So this is the way it looks. Then I'm gonna go into the area of the tent area. This is where they're attending the children. I'm gonna start from the left side. So this is a tent for the children. Let's start from the left side. This look how fast things that I want to mention things differently now in this caravan. Look how fast the containers of trash fill in. This has been possibly 2 to 3 hours that the caravan just arrived and look at the trash. It's already been piled in. Uh, Trash is being deposited where it's supposed to be deposited. The smell is not as quite as great as you think that it's going to be. You have organizations that are helping. You have right here UNICEF that is giving out diapers, as you see in the back. Have UNICEF giving out diapers. Also, you have uh, the Red Cross over here. ¿Te ayudo?
Gracias.
¿Te ayudo?
Gracias, gracias.
Limonada.
Suero. Suero de limón.
Arre. Dije, oye, ya están dando limonada, ¿no? Pues ahorita vengo para acá, ¿verdad? Espérame. ¿Sí lo puedes ahí? Sí, segura.
Gracias.
Ok, muy bien. Ándale. They're giving out hydration liquid. Also, it's saying if you're a migrant and a refugee between the ages of 13 and 29, there's a virtual chat information for your rights, how to have a conversation with a professional to create a better emotional health. Basically, what the United States is going through right now, that is mental illness. This is how it looks right here on this side. And then on this side. Let's just walk through the middle right here for a little bit in the canal. Thank you for the coffees. Buy me a coffees on the bottom link if you guys like to contribute to independent reporting. Right now,